this morning's talk was all about empowerment. And since I'm a graduate of Marinol, no, our spirituality is really, our patroness is the Blessed Mother, Miriam of Nazareth. And the invitation was to talk about empowerment, tawag dito, empowerment that is inspired by Mama Mary. Okay? So, it's a pretty big topic, no? There's so many aspects of the Blessed Mother you can talk about, but to be given the privilege to talk to fellow educators who are in the position to shepherd young people, di ba? Parang, ang dami-dami kong gustong sabihin, dami-dami kong gustong i-share as a former Miriam student, as a former Miriam teacher. Parang, knowing both sides of the classroom, there's so much to say about teaching and being inspired the Marian way. Focus in this morning's talk was about fiat, and I'm sure all of you know Mama Mary's fiat, right? Simply put, we think of fiat as Mama Mary's yes. We can also think of it as Mama Mary's thy will be done, let it be, diba? That very moment when the angel Gabriel, the messenger angel, came to her and said, you are blessed among all women and you have been chosen to bear God, to bear Jesus, Theotokos, to be God-bearer. So, how do you relate that with teachers, with formators, with parents? How are we living out Mary's fiat every day? So, I gave some examples, from sometimes there's a tendency if you're a new teacher or even if you're a senior teacher, diba? You wait for the bell and you see it's 3 o'clock, diba? And your contract says at 3 you can leave. You bundy out as soon as you can so that you can go home, beat the traffic. But fiat, Mama Mary would invite us, if at 3 o'clock there is a student there who's feeling sick, needs your assistance, hasn't been fetched by his or her parents, there's that invitation to say yes to that call, to stretch yourself and say, anak, nasan ng driver mo, nasan ng magulang mo, is wala pa po, or I'm not feeling well, samahan kita, right? There are many instances in our life when that yes is a choice, diba? Mama Mary's fiat is a reflection of her availability, of her assent, and of her being God-bearer. That was the main point that I want to deliver this morning when we talked about Mary's fiat. And here's the example I didn't get to share because there's so many examples, but this was the example I wanted to share and I forgot it pa. So if you are watching this, Miss Tish Agarado Javier, this is for you and this is also for your fellow student council leaders, co-leaders, Jenica, Faiva, Kriselda, Tanya, Colette, and the rest of the student council team of 2000 to 2003. I remember in my second year of teaching in Miriam, second year pa lang, so kakalagpas ko pa lang dun sa trial period, is teaching for me or not. On the second year, I was surprised when for those who know Mr. Boyet Fernandez, one of our favorite teachers from high school, he was then my supervisor for social studies, and he said, Yumi, we need club moderators. On top of your normal load, we would like for you to handle a club. Okay, if you think I'm ready, I was 22 years old that time. Okay, what club would you like me to handle? And he says, Christian Life Community, CLC. That time, I wasn't a member. And I wasn't a member either when I was in high school. I said, sir, I feel inept. I don't know anything about this organization. And he said, okay, well, you have a 2-month or a month and a half summer break. Find out, Get to know CLC, maybe through Ateneo, join the group. It's up to you. So I go, okay, well, it's a privilege to be able to be part of an organization. But gosh, this is added work for me. So long story short, I got to know CLC, joined the prayer group, got to meet Tita Bebs, got to know all my prayer group mates from Come and See. So it was a blessing. And come June, start of the school year, ready na ako. Sabi ko, sige, I think I know enough to be CLC moderator for Miriam High School. Sige, game. First day of work, in service, here comes my mentor, supervisor, and he says, oh, Yumi, by the way, I assigned CLC to someone else. She was a member pala of CLC back in high school. I think she would be in a better position to guide the girls. I'm assigning you to another club. I said, but sir, I already did my homework and I'm pretty confident I'll do a good job. Hindi I already assigned it to someone else. Can you help me? Because I'm currently handling Banaag, which is a theater group, and the student council, and it's a lot to take. Can you handle the student council? Me? I don't know, sir. That's a big responsibility. I goes, I'm confident you can take care of this one. Come on, I'll mentor you, I'll guide you. But I just need somebody to take care of the student council. Because right now, my hands are filled. I have a lot to take care of. And this is gonna help me in a big way if I can mentor you and you can take care of this student council team. Just a backstory, when I was in high school, if Michelle Windsor is watching this, I don't know if you remember, you were a sophomore and I think I was a junior. And I really wanted to run for internal vice president because I felt the introvert, shy person in me, that was the position that would be a good match for me. When I was about to apply, I chickened out. I backed out. I said, I'm not gonna win. I'm not gonna make it. No one's gonna vote for me. I'm not capable to lead the student body. So I backed out. And when I entered college, I kept on looking back at that experience, regretting, I should have tried. No? Win or lose, I should have at least tried submitting that application. So do you have moments like that when, you were given an opening, an opportunity, and you doubted yourself? And I don't know, the perfectionist in me, the OC in me, the shy introverted me said, you won't make it. It's gonna be difficult, Yumi. You won't be able to do a good job leading the student body. So we allow our fears and doubts to eat us whole, right? And then later on, we look back and we go, why did I even try? So come Miriam, teaching days, here we go again, right? If it's really for you, if a task or a mission or a gift is really meant for you, it's gonna come back in some other form. So here we go, student council opportunity. Should I take it? Sir, can I discern? Just give me time to okay, but I need your answer within the week because I need your help. And when someone believes in you and says you can do it, not just because, kaya mo yan. Iba yung, kaya mo yan, bahala ka na. And kaya mo yan, I believe in you, hindi kita iwan, hindi kita bibitawan, tulungan kita. I need to pass on this responsibility to new people, to young people, because I can't do this forever. And that's when I saw the greatness of my teacher, that he wasn't selfish, he didn't keep that position just to himself, he shared it with me. And I hesitantly said yes. And it brings me back to Mama Mary's fiat. I mean, I'm guessing when the messenger Gabriel, Angel Gabriel came to her, in all his glory and says, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you, you have been chosen. I doubt she was like 100% sure, why not? Diba? She also had worries in her heart. And yet, even if that yes that she said was not 100%, I am sure yes, she said, thy will be done. What can I do for you, Lord? I'm making myself available. I am assenting, and I would like to be bearer of God. Maybe for Mary, it was literal, bearing God as a child. To us, it's bearing God every day in the way we talk, the way we think, the way we do things. So there, I had my little fiat moment when I said, yes sir, game, but please help me because I can't do this alone. Yeah, don't worry, he said. And around that time, around early June, that was when students were coming in from their vacation, I had zero clues as to who these student leaders were gonna be. I knew very little about the high school students. I remember this was just my second year of teaching. Neneng-nene itsura ko noon, 22 years old. When the student council election finished, we had a roster of names. I didn't know a single one of them. I didn't teach any of these student leaders. They were not in my classes. Oh my gosh. How can I connect with them? No? How is it that I've been given this position? I'm not ready. And yet, Jenica, Faiva, Kriselda, Tish, Tanya, Christine, Colette, no? All of you, my goodness. All I needed to do was to give you space. You knew what to do. You know, we had a president who was so organized in her ways. She had brilliant plans. She had a heart for people. We had 2 vice presidents, one who had so much heart, you know, the kind of internal president you just want to hug because she's so adorable. And an external vice president who was just gung-ho about Captain Planet siya, right? What can I do to save the world? And then you had the secretary who in her quiet ways, you ask her to do something to help out the team, consider it done. She does it quietly, in her own way, in her own time, but always delivers the goods. And then you have a treasurer who was not so much into structure, but she was always grace under pressure. Lahat kami nagpapanik niya. Last minute issues or concerns. She's the one crunching numbers. She's the one telling all of us, guys, relax. We've got this. And then you have year-level representatives who each, you know, brought to the table their own unique way of leadership. One was funny, one was cerebral, one was showbiz, right? And all I had to do was to just give them the floor and to listen. It made me realize, wow, leadership does not always have to be that I have to be a good manager, that I always have to have the last say. They were all leaders in their own right. They don't need to hear that many, you know, reminders from me. You just have to hear them out and listen and put these pieces together. Kailangan ituhog-tuhog lahat ng ideas nila and affirm them that they're doing a good job. You know, when I was given that task of being student council moderator for 2 years, God gave me so many reasons to be grateful, to be given that privilege, to have been with these young student leaders who now are making our school so proud. And this morning, of the names that I mentioned, no, there's this one particular one who decided to go back to Miriam, go back to our alma mater, to say yes to the vocation of teaching. She became a teacher. 11 years already, she's been a teacher in Miriam. She's now assigned in Miriam Nuvali. Tish, that's the story I wanted to share this morning. That one yes that I said in 2002, a hesitant yes. I don't know if you know, when I said yes to that position, I was so hesitant. I felt inept. I felt like, you know, I was dependent on Mr. Fernandez's guidance. Now I realize I'm glad I did, even if that yes was not full, no, and complete. It was a bit half-hearted. I know that yes bore so much fruit that today I can now pass on the task. She is now student council moderator in Miriam Nuvali. She's an excellent educator of English and Filipino. It's been 11 years. And she's held more leadership positions than me when I was teaching in Miriam. No? And it's amazing. She continues to keep her humility. She continues to be grounded. And, you know, when you congratulate Tish, when you tell her, you know, when I tell her how proud I am of her, you would never see any pride, kayabangan, no? In her face. It's always with a shy smile or with a nod, you know. She is the fruit of that fiat. So I guess my point here is, maybe if you're watching this, if you've reached this far because you're a parent or a teacher or a filmmaker or any person, say you work for the corporate world and you're in HR or you're in a position to lead, sometimes it gets daunting, right? There's so much work to do, and then dadagdagan pa nilang trabaho, and sometimes we feel inept to say yes to a mission, a task, a job. But you know in your heart, upon discerning it, maybe I can do something, maybe I can contribute even just a little, even if I'm unsure. But if my heart is in the right place, and I know what I'll contribute, even a little, no, little bit of what I'll do will benefit others. If Mary said yes at 16, 17, to the biggest decision that this world, this human race has ever made, and that yes impacted the entire Christian community, right? No Mary, no Jesus, correct? We're called to do the same. Our yes maybe we might not feel the effect right now. Lahat ng pagod natin, lahat ng efforts, sa mga nagko-commute dyan, ilang oras ng pag-commute, pagod ka na, pag-uwi mo, may punto pa rin bang ginagawa ko? May punto pa rin ba ang pagsabi ko ng oo sa boss ko, pagsabi ng oo sa pamilya ko, may point pa ba to? Diba? Many years later, I look at Tish, who is now an educator. I feel so good. I feel so good that even just a little bit of that, I was able to like be part of that fiat that she made for herself, and that yes that she is making every day for the students that she teaches. And to the rest of the student council team, though only one chose education, each and every name I mentioned a while ago are doing so well. They're saying yes to the environment. They're saying yes to political awareness. They're saying yes to good practice in the corporate world. They're saying yes to motherhood. No? All of them saying yes in their own right, in their own way, to contribute to the good in the world, and ultimately to be Theotokos, or to be God-bearer, a reflection of God in this world. So yun lang, makakatulog na ako mamayang gabi. At least dito na share ko. So this Facebook Live goes to all the student council members of 0203, 0304, and in particular to Tish, who is now continuing the tradition of the vocation of education, and who is saying yes to taking care of the students of our alma mater in Miriam Valley. So thank you if you are, or if you were part of this morning's talk. Thank you for listening. Nakakatawa yung mga teachers sa Nuvali. Ang babata. I feel so old. Pero nakakatawa. They were so engaging. Game silang sumayaw. Game silang kumanta. No? And had we had more time, I feel like they would have shared more. It was nice to have heard their truth. That, as they anticipate another school year, there are worries. There are valid concerns. There are valid worries. But hopefully, our little talk this morning about the Marian, no? And I don't just reserve it to Miriam College, but the Marian way, the Mama Mary way, her fiat, no? There are four, no? There are four things I talked about, but I just focus on the fiat, her availability, her assent, and her choice to be a God-bearer is an invitation that is extended to all of us, her children. Yes, Tonichi. I'm just gonna read Tonichi's comment. Mary's yes was done in complete surrender to the will of God. In the same way, parents saying yes is the same, complete surrender to the work. Hats off, saludo sa mga magulang. I'm not a parent yet, and the closest I could get to parenting is being with students from 8 to 5. And at the end of the day, after a retreat, a talk, a seminar, I look forward to going home to a quiet room. Diba? But parents, they don't have that privilege. It's a forever vocation, forever yes. But you know what? The yeses you've been making for your kids, 5, 10, 20 years down the road, they're gonna look back, and God never wastes a good yes. He never wastes a good yes. It's gonna come back to you. Ay nako, your kids pa. Diba? It's gonna come back to you, and they're going to continue what you started. So, just remember, no yes to God is ever wasted.